Wait for some people to get in here. Welcome to Light. And today, I'm just going to be doing a little bit of a free-form kind of what's been going through my head as this debate that we all watched last night has sat with me more. So, hi, Chrissy. So, basically, my first initial reactions to the debate, we're not completely, I'm not completely changed on that, but as it sat with me more, I've rewatched parts of the debate. I've watched some other people comment over it, and honestly, I think that Joe Biden, I think he came away from it a lot better than I initially thought. I really do. And a big part of that, is, honestly, I would have to say, he had the most memorable moments of the debate by far, didn't he? He brought up the malarkey. That was great. I'm just kidding. I mean, that was funny, but no, but when he was hitting Trump on the, we learn to die with it instead of we learn to live with COVID, that was incredibly memorable. I don't remember almost anything that Trump did, which is pretty bad for him. All the snap polls, by the way, just real quick before I get into it, say that Biden won pretty handily. Like they have Trump in the 30s and Biden's nearing the 60s in some of these. So, in percentage of who thinks who won. Biden also had some amazing, I think his best moments were probably to do with when he hit Trump on how Trump has handled the borders, and Trump tried to come back with something. He tried to come back with, well, who built the cages? Excuse me. Who built the cages, Joe? Okay, because obviously, yeah, of course. Trump always thinks he won everything, though. I mean, he's fucking delusional. That's kind of how he rolls. But yeah, here's the point. No kid died in one of those cages under the Obama presidency. That's a big one. There weren't 535 kids who literally have zero knowledge on where their parents are. That's a big one. There weren't just the amount and how how ICE is handling people down there. That was not at all the same level that it is here. Trump is horrific on this issue. So he could try to pivot all day with who built the cages, but okay, but listen, you're the president right now. If you had a problem with that, you would have torn down the fucking cages. You wouldn't have put way more people in them and separated all these kids from their families. And plenty of kids have died, and people have died during this. So that was great when Biden was hitting him on that. I mean, that's inexcusable. Another great Biden moment was when he pressed him on, hold on. They were both pretty bad on healthcare. What? So really, no parents were taken, no kids were taken from their parents during the Obama administration. I'm not aware of that. I would have to look into that more. But no, listen, Biden, he really came off strong, and he came off he had some stumbly shit, but he's Biden. Okay, he didn't stumble too much for Biden. He came off really aggressive in a way that he needed to this whole time. He needed to have came off that aggressive in the last debate as well, and he didn't really. In this debate, he was on the sauce, bro. He was hitting it hard. He was knocking Trump around with all of I'm having trouble remembering specific things, but I didn't really write out a script for this. If I would have wrote out a script, I could have listed it off, but this is kind of an off the cuff thing. He just as far as I could tell, he came out looking way better than I initially thought he did. I thought it was kind of it could go either way, sort of thing. But I really think that Biden has pulled it right in. Now, going forward, how do I think that this debate will sit with everybody? I think that Biden's going to get a tick in the polls, which is a death sentence for Trump. Trump needed to get Biden way down in the polls and him go way up to do any hope of, honestly, like, unless there's a bunch of shit that nobody knows, to have any hope of winning this. So I truly think that this is kind of a death sentence for Trump. Like, it's over. This was like the last big opportunity he actually had to move the needle in his favor. Because, bro, we're in the fourth quarter. Okay, we're in the fourth quarter and Biden is up 20 points. Like, unless you got a bunch of secret plays in your playbook there, you're over. It's over. And I hope it is over. I really do. I hope that there's not some weird miracle where Trump wins, but I really can't see it. I mean, can you see if Trump wins this? Wouldn't you? That would be the most surprising. That'd probably be the most surprising political upset, even way bigger than the last time that has ever happened. I really don't see it as being a possibility at all at this point. Yeah, there are a lot of stupid people, and they're very hell bent on voting for this guy. But are there enough? Are there enough? I mean, my heart tells me no, but my brain might tell me yes. No, but if you go with the data, it doesn't seem like there's enough. It seems like, I think that if COVID would never have happened, he might have been able to sneak away with a victory here. But since COVID happened and that brought enough unrest to allow the riots to happen the way they did when George Floyd was murdered, and he handled both of those horrifically, I really think that was the nail in his coffin of ever hoping to get reelected in this country. I think that if he had any chance before, it's been lost for a while now. No, I don't think he gathered any. I think he's only lost voters in these past 4 years. I would completely agree with that. I think that he had opportunities to gain more voters. Yeah, he did barely win 4 years ago. I think he had opportunities to gain new voters, right? But I don't think he actually acted upon a single one of those opportunities. He turned them away at every game. Like, when he ran against Hillary, he pretended to be for the people. He pretended to be a populist bomb thrower that's going to shake up the system. And, he was so anti-establishment was his like big pretend selling point, right? And when he got in, he put in the most establishment people in his entire cabinet. You've got two people that work for Goldman Sachs in his cabinet. They were largely responsible for the crash in 2008. And then we bailed them out, by the way. Those are in his cabinet. He's got every single fucking position, the EPA, the Department of Education, the Department of the Interior, the Department of everything. He's put somebody who literally believes that department shouldn't exist in charge of those departments. It's unbelievable. I don't think he wants the public backlash of losing, but I do think he doesn't like being president at all. And I think he wouldn't mind at all long run if he lost. So maybe he does want to lose. Biden has to win this. If we have any dying hope of being able to preserve this country long enough to get substantive change in there eventually, we can't have the fascists have another 4 years. That's not how you get change. You can't have your leftist, like, everybody gets better wages, everybody gets health care, we end the drug war, we end the wars overseas, we do all that. We can't have that ever be a possibility if we let Trump fully usher in fascism over his next 4 years. Like, that's the most counter-revolutionary shit you could ever do. Is just allow your enemy, like, yeah, like nobody likes a neo fucking liberal centrist guy, right? Nobody likes it, but he's not anywhere near as much of your enemy as a fucking fascist is. He's simply not. Not at all. You can't lose to a fascist by not wanting to support somebody to the left of the fascist. Is Bernie being looked at for a cabinet position? Really? That's based as fuck. Let's look into that real quick. Bernie Sanders cabinet position. Ooh, labor secretary. That would be great for him. I hope he gets that. That would be phenomenal. Yeah, the labor would be his shit like all day long. So I hope he gets that. He would actually be able to do a lot of good for people if he gets that. That's breaking news, huh? Yeah, because I didn't hear anything about that. I might cover that too. But yeah, I really think that like I said, if we want any hope of actually being able to change this country for the better for the future, you gotta be riding with Biden, boy. You can't go to the dump with Trump. You gotta be riding with Biden. Because if you go to the dump with Trump, we're all dead. Okay? Can't be polite and nice to these people either. We're all dead if you go that route. Do not get it twisted. Do not get it twisted that he's for you. He is pretending to be for you. Just because he says he's for you doesn't mean he gives a flying fuck about you. If you don't have $20 million in your bank account, at least, Trump doesn't even want you to be alive. And if you are alive, he wants you to be working for one of his horrible fucking factories. That's the truth. He doesn't give a flying fuck about you. Don't get it fucking twisted at all. Tell everybody you know and make sure that they know that Trump literally, like, you just go with the record. Just go with what he's done. Why, if he cared about you so much, have in 4 years he not done any? Like, he talks about the farmers all the time too, because the only reason, by the way, is because a pretty sizable amount of farmers support him. So he talks about the farmers a lot, right? You hear that a lot. Our beautiful farmers in Oklahoma, in Kentucky, in Alabama. Okay. So if he cares about these farmers so much, why in 4 years has he literally done nothing to bring down their cost of production on their farms, their costs of land expansion on their farms, their cost of land maintenance on their farms, their cost of fucking the animal import and exporting on their farms? He hasn't fucking done anything for them. The only thing he pretends that he did for them, which has a time limit, by the way, is the big tax cut that's the worst tax cut in fucking American history. It was the Bush tax cut that you heard everybody freaking out about during the Bush era. It was that tax cut, but on steroids. And all the benefits for the fucking 1%, the very rich to the rich, they're permanent. All the benefits for everybody making $75,000 a year or less are temporary. Because that's how much he cares about you. He cares about the people. No, he doesn't. He doesn't care about the farmers. He doesn't care about the steel workers. He doesn't care about the glass workers. He doesn't care about any single person that's actually at a working class position. He genuinely doesn't care if you live or die. Obviously, we have 230,000 people dead from coronavirus. The majority of them obviously are working class because that's the majority of the people in the country. He doesn't care about them. It is what it is. One is too much, but it's China's fault. He doesn't care. We have to put somebody in there who cares about the country at all that they are governing over. Good point, Mom. Good old point. But yeah, I think Biden won the debate. I think Biden. I'm from the future. If you didn't know, Biden won the election. Unless we're in multiverse and I went to the wrong universe, Biden won the election. So hopefully by this exact time next year, we will have all had a little bit time easier breathing air because it won't be so overly infested with CO2 and COVID-19 and fucking or mongoloid. That one hasn't caught on yet to being as offensive. Mongoloid energy in the air. And you'll be able to walk outside and go to the store and, kind of feel like you're having a normal day again every once in a while. So, a little bit of a rambly stream, but hey, I got to put something out here every day. And I thought I would talk about what's been on my mind all day. It's been this stuff. I've seen people talk about it. I don't think that Biden did quite as well as some people think, but I think he did way better than I initially thought he did. I think that the reason why, and the strongest reasons why, is he came away with the most memorable moments of the debate entirely. Like Trump was just a non-presence. I know that it was largely because of the mic thing, but he was just subdued in a way that is not good for him. Like he's not do good pretending to be presidential. Like the ship has sailed on anybody thinking you're presidential, dude. It's too late. So like you shouldn't have leaned into that. So yeah, it was horrible, man. Like for him, he didn't have anything to bring to that debate at all. And Biden brought for the moments he wasn't stumbling around every once in a while. Yeah, that's true. For the moments that Biden wasn't stumbling around for a while, at least he brought some fucking fire. Like Trump didn't have anything. Nothing. It was pathetic, honestly. Anyway, I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel below if you're new here. And that's about it. Come back tomorrow. I'll probably have something a little bit more scripted. But until then, this has been The Light. The light is coming.